What two jobs are fine on their own, but suspicious if you work both of them? I learned the answer to this question the hard way when my neighbor Derek turned out to be the smartest criminal I'd ever heard of. This guy had been living 3 houses down from me for 2 years. Super nice guy. Always waved when he saw you, helped carry groceries for the old lady next door, and had this little side business installing security systems. Derek was really good at what he did. He'd come to your house with all these fancy cameras and motion sensors, explain everything in detail, and his prices were way better than the big companies. Half the neighborhood hired him, including me. He installed this whole system in my house. Cameras outside, sensors on every door and window, the works. Even showed me how to use the app on my phone. The other thing Derek did was locksmith work. Nothing weird about that, right? Guy's handy with security. Makes sense he'd know locks too. I actually called him once when I locked myself out after a jog. He showed up in like 10 minutes and had my door open in seconds. Didn't even seem to struggle with my smart lock. Everything seemed normal until the Hendersons got robbed 3 months ago. Nice family. Lived in that big house on Maple Street. They came home from vacation and their whole place had been cleaned out. Jewelry, cash, some rare coin collection the husband had been building for 20 years. But here's the weird part. No broken windows, no busted doors, and their security system never went off. Police were scratching their heads. How do you break into a house without actually breaking anything? The Hendersons had one of those expensive systems installed. They swore it was working fine before they left. Then it happened again 2 weeks later. Different family, same story. Expensive stuff gone, no signs of forced entry, security system disabled. This time it was the family with the big German Shepherd. That dog would bark if a leaf hit the window wrong, but he never made a sound during the robbery. By the time the third house got hit, people were getting nervous. All 3 families had pretty much the same setup. Nice houses, good neighborhoods, and security systems installed by local companies. The police started looking at patterns. That's when Brad Henderson remembered something strange. He'd forgotten his keys at work one day and called Derek to help him get in. Derek showed up and unlocked his front door like it was nothing. But Brad had just installed a brand new smart lock 2 weeks before. The kind that's supposed to be impossible to pick. I remember thinking it was weird how fast he got it open, Brad told the police. Took him maybe 30 seconds, and he didn't even seem to try hard. The cops started digging into Derek's background. Turns out he had access to way more than people realized. Every security system he installed came with admin codes that let him disarm everything remotely. And as a locksmith, he was making copies of every key and access code he touched. Here's how smart this guy was. He never hit houses right after working on them. He'd wait months, sometimes half a year. Long enough for people to forget he'd ever been there. He'd watch people's social media, figure out when they were going on vacation, then strike when the house was empty. The genius part was combining both jobs. The security systems told him which houses had expensive stuff worth stealing. The locksmith work gave him a way to get in without leaving any trace. And since he installed the security systems himself, he knew exactly how to disable them. They finally caught him because the Chen family had installed a second set of cameras in their baby's room that Derek didn't know about. These were connected to a different system entirely. When he broke in, those cameras caught his face clear as day. When police searched Derek's house, they found a storage unit full of stolen goods, and this thick binder with pages and pages of copied access codes, key patterns, and detailed layouts of every house he'd ever worked on. The guy had been planning this for years. 12 families got robbed in total. Derek made off with over $200,000 worth of stuff before they caught him. He got sentenced to 12 years in prison, and every single person who'd ever hired him had to change their locks and security